Real story. Here is a real story. One American reminding us that our dreams are always within our reach. Blake Leeper is a wildly successful athlete. He just so happens to be a double amputee who has been using prosthetics since he was a baby.
So basically everything just didn't grow below here. I had to get surgery when I was 4 years old to where they had to just shape up the heel pad a little bit, put pins through my knees to straighten out my alignment in my knees. But and I was in a cast for about 6 weeks. But ever since then, that's the only period of surgery I had. For them 6 weeks, I was in a wheelchair, which is probably the longest 6 weeks of my life. And I honestly can say that's the only time I've been in a wheelchair.
So at the 2012 Paralympic Games, Leeper won a silver and a bronze medal. And now he's aiming to compete in the 2016 Olympic Games in Rio alongside able-bodied athletes. And there's more. Leeper is playing in the NBA All-Star Celebrity Game tonight, right here in New York City. But first, he joins me now. Blake Leeper, American Blade Runner. I am so glad to have you on The Real Story. You are such an inspiration. Yeah. And it turns out basketball is actually your favorite sport.
It is. You know, I want to say thank you so much for allowing me to come here and tell my story. You know, my journey has been crazy. You know, I've been able to travel the world, speak to all kinds of kids. APB, Andrew Walker at the Speaking Bros allowed me to tell my story to all these amazing kids, this platform of overcoming adversity. And just because I have a disability doesn't mean that defines who I am. So thank you so much for having me. I really do appreciate it.
So I was getting to know you a little bit in the commercial break, and you said, you know, I said, what was it that gave you this amazing attitude in life? And you said?
Yeah, and it really was my family, my mother, my father, my friends, my brother, my grandparents, because at an early age, just because I was missing my legs doesn't mean that I'm disabled. It just really means I'm differently abled. At a young age, my mom taught me life is 10% of what you're dealt with and 90% on how you deal with it. And in my 10%, yes, are my legs, and yes, I have 2 disabilities, but I have 1,000 other abilities to show the world why I'm a special person.
So other kids, though, didn't actually see you that way all the time.
No,
right?
not at all.
I mean, they made fun of you?
Yes, right? Yes. I got made fun of, I got pointed at, I got laughed at, I got teased, I got cut from the basketball team, the baseball team because of my legs. But honestly, that was my strength. Every time somebody laughed at me, every time somebody pointed at me, that was just fuel to the fire. Just fuel to the fire. And I'm telling you, tonight, when I play in the NBA Celebrity All-Star Game, that fire is going to explode, and I'm going to show the world that I'm not a quitter.
I'm sure you're going to show them more than that. The other interesting thing about you is that you wanted to be a doctor.
Yes.
An orthopedic surgeon.
Yes.
It just so turns out you're such a great athlete, you haven't gotten to that quite yet.
Not yet.
But you still might.
Yes, I might. I still might go back. You know, I was at the University of Tennessee studying pre-med. I want to be a pediatric orthopedic surgeon to go back and help kids in the same situation and similar situations that I dealt with. But my main goal was to help. I wanted to help kids. I wanted to change lives. Now my career has changed. Instead of being in the OR, the ER, I'm on the track or I'm on the basketball court, but I still get to change lives. And that's the main thing. I hope there's a kid out there that's going through something with a disability, physically or internally, who think there's nothing out there for them, who has nobody to look up to, and they see my story and see that I overcame my challenge. And when somebody told me I could not do that, when the doctor said I couldn't walk, or when the doctor said I would never run, I want to show the world that don't take that. Never take a no for an answer. And when you wake up each and every day, make sure that failure is not an option.
I am going to be rooting for you tonight at the game. And so many people are so proud of you, and you are an inspiration. And I really appreciate you coming on The Real Story today.
Thank you so much for having me. I really do appreciate it.
Continue. I'm going to follow you in Rio, too.
I will be there.
You're going to be on the medal stand.
16 months away. It's coming fast. So
All right. Thank you so much. Time for my take now. And it's just something really simple today. We just met an amazing man who has made the most of his life and his dreams. And he's far from being done. I'm sure he will accomplish more. Along with the way he didn't have friends or peers who believed in him. But the biggest lesson Blake Leeper is teaching others is that he believed in himself. At the end, that's all that really matters, right? He wasn't going to take no for an answer, and he's making the most of his life. That is a fantastic lesson for a Friday or any day of the week. So thank you, Blake, for living your life to the fullest. Coming up on The Real Story, even Supreme Court judges